Let's talk about the divide between the haves and the have-nots. Let's discuss that, dissect it, analyze it, deconstruct it. Let's look at it from different angles. The topic of the haves versus the have-nots. Some people have never heard that expression. What the fuck does it mean? Well, it's pretty fucking goddamn simple. It means some people have shit and other motherfuckers don't have shit. So we're talking about the difference between those who have shit and niggas who don't have shit. And then, of course, those who are somewhere in between, where they kind of got some shit or kind of don't, or they kind of don't have some shit and kind of do, which is the same as the other. But the point is that in terms of the haves and the have-nots, I have observed as an observer, by the way, this is a mobile podcast, East Coast in, One Sir Grove, your boy, if you're tuning in, man, for the first time, and you appreciate what you're hearing, man, I appreciate you. If you've tuned in before and you appreciate this show on 495, we most motherfucking certainly appreciate you too. Man, thank you. So in that, this is a no-holds-bar show. I'm not going to ask you to like or subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to push any fucking buttons or do anything like that. I never do that. If you like the show, you do. If you motherfucking don't, then you motherfucking don't. So, because I appreciate getting organic likes when someone genuinely likes the show, and I can say, yo, man, I didn't ask this person to like the shit, and the person liked the shit. So I never asked. What's the fucking point? Some people, it works for them doing that. For me, I really don't give a shit. You either like it or you don't. So, in that, going back to the topic, haves and have-nots. I, as a casual, will say, observer, have noticed in the past years that increasingly politicians seem out of touch with the people. And I'm talking about from both sides of the spectrum. I'm talking about liberal Democrat, Democratic Party. I'm talking about conservative Republican Party, GOP. And I am saying specifically for anyone who really wants to fucking know. If you don't, then man, maybe this show ain't for you. But for those who genuinely, sincerely would like to know what the fuck it is that I'm referring to, yo, check gang. These politicians, as the world changes, as there are different events in terms of global change, because the globe changes, the world changes, it always fucking changes, man. It's constantly in flux. The planet is constantly undergoing change. It is perpetual forever, essentially, in the context of the planet. Scientists honestly don't even know how fucking old the planet is. You can look it up in reference books and you can see what scientists have said. In addition to that, you can see where people have said, scientists, hey man, yo, I know that y'all scientists over there believe that the world is this old. We scientists over here, we don't fucking believe that information that you have presented. We just don't believe it. We think that the world is much older than you posit or you hypothesize, you theorize that you believe. I mean, how is it really fucking testable? Like, how can you really honestly test it? Well, some would argue that there are ways, arguably. Such ways, indeed, exist in the minds of those who believe that it is testable. That you can say, well, radiocarbon dating, this is what happened during the Big Bang. Quite frankly, I don't fucking believe that there was a Big Bang. I believe that the Big Bang is and was and will continue to be a theory, but I don't believe that the world started in terms of some motherfucking big bang, and that all of a sudden these different changes, because, you know, from whence did that bang occur? Did it occur at a singularity point, at a single point in time, space, time? Okay, well that says that it occurred in space, time, space, indicating, suggesting, wait for it, in something. that it motherfucking happened in something. Therefore, if it happened in something, that means that the Big Bang occurred in some type of other motherfucking space, dog. So, with that being said, as a lot of people like to say, with that being said, or you could just say in that, yo, I just don't fucking believe that a Big Bang happened in the middle of nowhere with no space surrounding it. Because you have to have something in which for a Big Bang to occur. You can't start with nothing, and then it's like, okay, nothing exists. Boom, now all of a sudden, everything exists. Doesn't make sense, homeboy. So at any rate, man, you got people out there. There are some people who are like, hey, Grove, man, why do you got to use profanity? Why do you got to fucking curse, man? Why do you got to use profanity and profane language and, curse words and all this shit? And I'm like, well, because Eddie Murphy does and did. Because Richard Pryor does and did. Because that's what the fuck I do. That's how I make my money. I'm a rap artist, Dr. Grover. And fucking that's my shtick. That's my spiel. That's my presentation. That's how I motherfucking roll. And yo, I've studied mathematics for decades. And I can talk to any professor of quantum mechanics, quantum physics, quantum science, and I can say to any scientist on planet Earth, yo, the deeper reality is this. It's not necessarily always about numbers. In the same way that Tesla believed that numbers served a purpose, but you don't always need numbers per se to model things and to explain and describe things. Because at the root of numbers, which are theoretical in nature in and of themselves, motherfucking goddamn numbers are merely representative of hypotheses and theories and speculation and things of this and that nature. So at the core and the root and the heart of it all, it's all fucking simple logic. So with logic, I can very easily prove the underlying fundamental deeper truths of this multiverse reality. And it is that. It's really fucking simple, dude. And as kids who were prodigious, we used to say this all the time. There is no such thing as nothing. Now, you can argue that that's a double negative, and perhaps it is in some regard. Regardless, and nonetheless, there really is no such thing as nothing. There is always something. Therefore, the universe was not spawned from nothing. That is not fucking legit, okay? It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. So that means that the universe in which you live currently is a multiverse that was spawned from another universe, from another space. Had to be. It was, in fact, indeed. So that's my point, dude, is that in this quantum entanglement universe of the Mandela effect, as I and others have observed, as others and I have observed, to be more polite, the latter as opposed to the former. In this quantum entanglement universe, with the inclusion of the Mandela effect, what I have observed is that you have these fucking stupid, superficial, superfluous, supercilious, imbecilious, piece of shit, stooge-ass motherfucking politicians who they are not scientists and they do not know, mostly, largely, chiefly, the type of shit that I know. When I observe global change in terms of the ecosystem, some would say the ecosystem, the environment, when you look at what's happening on planet Earth and compare and contrast, therefore juxtapose what is being observed with that of what has happened in the past that we know from records, when you look at it, dude, it's pretty motherfucking obvious that politicians who are not discussing climate change, who are not understanding of climate change, who are talking about some drivel, some hyperbole, some utter fucking bullshit, some jabberwocky, some jibber jabber, some BS bullshit. Dude, I want to talk about shit like Space Force. That's why Donald Trump is on fucking par and totally understands that there is a need to expand out into space. How many other presidents have talked about this other than Ronald Reagan? I mean, in all seriousness, like, who really seriously had it in his mind, her mind, in which to undertake the mission, the initiative of deep interstellar space exploration, hyperspace, space fucking force? I mean, dude, people talk shit about Donald Trump on one hand. On the other hand, people who are smart know that he's actually on top of shit in a lot of different fucking ways, unbeknownst to the average motherfucking stupid ass punk. Donald Trump isn't dumb. People who think that he is have been brainwashed by groupthink, by their friends. Oh yeah, you gotta say this to be part of the club. Just go ahead and say it. Come on, say it. Donald Trump's dumb, right? Like he's a toddler in a grown man's body. He's so stupid. Like he doesn't know what's going on. He's mentally ill. He's out of his mind. You gotta say that. Come on, Steve. Come on, John. Larry, come on. Say this along with us, because you got to do that to be part of the club. The reality is, dude, he's by no means stupid. He's a multi-billionaire. He became president of the United States. He surpassed all of his competitors fairly, squarely. Our duly elected president of the United States, POTUS. I salute you, POTUS, and the American people. I'm one Sir Grove, reporting in, chiming in, checking in with America and the American people. Look, man, global climate change is happening. It is occurring, and it has always and forever occurred throughout time. I believes that I saw some shits with regards to's. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty motherfucking sure I saw not too long ago that in one cycle of Earth, the mean temperature on Earth was approximately, okay, on the goddamn motherfucking, for emphasis, average. The average temperature on Earth at some point was something like 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So for all these people that are like, dude, it's global climate change, blah, 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 fucking, we need to take heed. Right, dude? Smart people like me, dude, we've always known that, motherfucker. Like, it's not news, dude, that is new. It's old hat. And I can tell you that at some point, if you want to be an alarmist and a pessimist, oh my God, the sun and the earth and the ice caps and they're melting and oh my God, the glaciers. And it's like, right, motherfucker, it happens every zillions of eons, dude. Over and over again. It is a cycle. It is cyclical. Do you need numbers to model that? I mean, sure, we do with supercomputers, but you also don't really need numbers to understand that. The Earth has different cycles with which it undergoes. These politicians also have cycles with which they undergo. And currently, some of these politicians, not all of them, are some of the stupidest fucking humanoid miscreant heathens ever in the history of this planet on record that is known to humans on this timeline. They're some of the dumbest motherfuckers, man, on this planet, despite technology being as advanced as it is on this timeline. Now, we know Antarctica holds secrets, a secret civilization that predates ours. We know about the breakaway civilization. We're not stupid. People like me who are part of the disclosure community, we're fucking hip, dude. We know. We understand that what predates us was far more advanced, and it's just been decorated thereafter, dressed up with window dressing to make this planet look like it's something that it's not, and we're still on that evolutionary timeline of technology. I'm not talking about evolution of humans because there's no such thing. But I am talking about technology in general. I mean, even if you look at the Greeks and the Romans, dude, and what they were doing in terms of their architecture and their design of their cities and whatnot, in different ways, they were actually far more advanced than today. And when you look at the TV show, Modern Marvels and things of that nature, if you look at the aqueduct system and hydrology and geology, how it was back then in relation to human building and, hydro systems and what we have now is hydroelectric systems. If you look at the past versus the future and the present and so on and so forth, man, and when I say the future, I mean what is predicted and projected and estimated in terms of the different types of technologies that we're creating and we're developing and that are currently underway and that are believed to be on the horizon of time, space-time. When you look at all of the things that are now and on the cusp, verge, future, okay, and then contrast with what was then in the past, just around that like curvature of space-time, time-space, some of the stuff that had existed on Earth that is known to mainstream society was more advanced than what can be built today, i.e. the motherfucking Great Pyramid and other pyramids and Darren Kuyu and other such structures. How was it built? Humans on this timeline, a lot of them don't fucking know because they're clueless and they're fucking stupid and they don't use logic and they don't use their minds in the way that they should. They ought to know like the H blocks of Puma Puntu. Keep in mind, dude, in Machu Picchu, this is not shit, dude, in the Nazca lines. I'm not, dude, making this up or reading any of this. This is just from fucking memory. I've seen all the ancient shit. And it was not created solely or entirely even by humans, which is the same thing. And, you know, redundantly emphasized. It just could not have been. It's not even possible. Okay? And if it were even remotely possible, then we're talking about humanoids that had lasers to cut shit. Okay? And so in that sense, yes, it is possible because in the realm of science, nothing is impossible. So perhaps they were humans, but they were advanced humans, more advanced than now, and they had access to lasers. And we all know now, those in our community of disclosure, that the pyramids were actually essentially batteries. They were power stations. And the pyramids were used to, in part, terraform the planet and then continue to provide some ongoing power to power the atmosphere and other systems here on planet Earth, on this planet Earth. So in that, I'm simply saying that when you think about these politicians and how lofty and uppity they are and how actually, truly, deeply superficial they are, that's why there are more than 35 levels of secrecy above even the president, whoever the president of any country is, especially the United States, specifically during any presidency. 35 plus levels, like beyond and beyond the president. So if there are 35 levels of secrecy above the president, you can have any president. It could be hypothetically Hillary Clinton if she had won, and she could be as thought-provoking and as evocative and as fucking whatever, charming or charismatic or whatever bullshit she was portending or purporting, rather, I meant to say. Whatever she was feigning in terms of her artifice, her fake made-up bullshit. Yeah, she could be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to be super special and sensational and spectacular and phenomenal and blah, blah, blah with all these different superlatives. But it's like, yeah, well, whatever, bitch. You still ain't no shit above your clearance level, and there are 35 levels above your fucking dumb ass that you will never know about and you will never have access to. So who really truly runs the planet then? Those who know what the presidents of this planet don't know. Yeah, think about it.